เลยเว้ย
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going kind of deep into some recent thoughts from Tiger.
Oh, yeah. Tiger from MIRROR.
Yeah, of course, from the Hong Kong group MIRROR.
Yeah.
7 years, man. 7 years since they came together. And he's been sharing his thoughts on how it's been for him, how the group's evolved. We've got an interview here.
Yeah.
Really gives his perspective on where he is now and what's next.
I think it's so fascinating, just to kick us off, that even after 7 years in, what is a really demanding industry,
Yeah.
especially in such a vibrant scene like Hong Kong's,
Yeah.
Tiger expresses this feeling that his journey's only just beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we can all relate to in our own lives,
Yeah.
When even after you've been doing something for a while, you still feel like you're just getting started.
Yeah.
You're still on the edge of something new.
He says it straight up, like, he doesn't think that he started late. Yeah, exactly. On purpose. And he really emphasizes how much he's gained over these past years.
Yeah.
All thanks to MIRROR's activities, concerts, tours, connecting with the fans.
Right, and that's so interesting because it kind of highlights how much we learn by doing,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
It's not about just reading a book. It's about getting out there and having those experiences. And it sounds like those experiences have really shaped him. I mean, not just in terms of performing,
Right.
but also it's given him this foundation to start creating his own work,
Yeah.
to present it to the audience, which is amazing, this link between action and personal growth.
Yeah.
Have you ever found that just getting out there and doing something has led you to a new creative avenue?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. And it sounds like the spirit of ongoing learning isn't just something that he feels, it's a whole group thing.
Right.
He describes the last 6 or 7 years as an exploratory journey. I love
Loves
this
that.
word, yeah.
An exploratory journey for all 12 of them. It's fascinating that even after, 7 years, they're still in the process of discovering what they're good at, Doralai,
Right.
and what they genuinely enjoy.
Right.
To me, that speaks to a certain level of, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Even within a really successful collective like MIRROR, which I think is really healthy.
Yeah, and he believes there's still so much more to uncover.
Right, like this
within
constant
us.
desire for growth.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, when you think about it, that's pretty incredible because they're so successful.
they are huge. Yeah.
But this idea that there's still so much to learn and to push their limits, to break through and challenge themselves,
Yeah.
What do you think that says about their group?
It's got to be the culture of the group, right?
Yeah,
And the environment they're in.
absolutely. Do you think this is common in other groups that have been going on for a long time that are very successful?
I think it's a part of the industry too, right? I mean, you've got to evolve. You've got to stay relevant.
Right.
He specifically mentions that subunits are like another direction to take on new challenges. That's true. Subunits are really interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because you can have all these different creative combinations, right?
Right.
You can target different parts of the audience.
Yeah.
And as he pointed out, they provide these fresh chances for individual members to really stretch themselves and develop new skills
Yeah.
within a slightly different dynamic,
Yeah.
which he describes as a very positive development.
Yeah.
It's like a built-in way to reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, this is cool.
Yeah.
He talks about his role in the group, specifically in relation to the toe, which is the youngest member.
Oh, yeah. I'm familiar with that term.
Yeah, and he sees similarities between his role and Jeremy's, describing them as both being like a bridge in the team. The Macne often has, certain expectations that come with that role,
Yeah.
not just in terms of age, but also how they interact with the other members.
Right.
But Tiger's view of being a bridge suggests a more active role.
Yeah.
Like he's actively connecting different parts of the group.
Right.
It's interesting that he identifies with that, even though he isn't the youngest.
And he describes himself as like the glue in the group in terms of communication, the one who says, you need to calm down. He work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
A stabilizing presence.
Absolutely. So it's not just the youngest member, but someone who kind of steps into this role.
Yeah.
Have you seen that in other groups?
Mm-hmm.
Where someone takes on a kind of nurturing, mediating role, regardless of their actual position?
All the time. I mean, I think it's just group dynamics naturally kind of
Right.
fall into place based on people's personalities.
Absolutely.
And, strengths.
Totally.
Not really like a formal hierarchy.
It's more organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to his own personal changes, he's noticed that he talks more. And
I mean, it sounds simple, but...
It sounds simple, but he tells a really insightful story about it.
Wait, what's the story?
Okay, so he talks about this time where he was doing a bunch of solo interviews, like back to back, and this was totally new for him. He used to be super reserved during group interviews, right?
Ah, that's a great example.
Yeah, like he'd just hang back and let the others take the lead.
Yeah.
Speak a little bit when the camera was on him, but...
I can kind of imagine that dynamic.
Yeah.
You've got this big group
And the interviews would go by so fast for him because he wasn't really, front and center.
Right.
But this solo thing, oh my God, he had to articulate his thoughts and feelings over and over again.
Right, and that's a huge shift.
It was huge.
To go from kind of being more comfortable in the background to being put into the spotlight on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think some of our listeners might relate to that?
Oh, I think a lot of people do, right?
Yeah.
Feeling more at ease in a group, but not loving those individual moments.
Totally.
His definition of being proactive has also changed. It's not just about showing up and doing the work. It's about putting in the effort, the practice, really thinking it through and creating tangible work.
Yeah, that's what I had.
So that's really interesting. It's not just about being present, right?
Yeah.
But about taking ownership.
Yeah.
Creating something, having those results.
Yeah.
Really cool shift.
It's like level 2 of proactivity.
Right.
Yeah, and this new approach, he says it brings him joy, a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, and not just when he's performing, when he's behind the scenes too.
Oh, that's great, that intrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
That's so key for any career, really, right?
I think so, yeah.
When you find that joy in the process, not just the outcome. And the fact that he's finding that both in performing and in the work leading up to it, it suggests that it's a really deep passion.
Right, absolutely.
Not just a fleeting interest.
And this passion, it really comes through when he talks about acting.
Oh, tell me about that.
He loves it.
Yeah?
Straight up, he says he really enjoys performing, enjoy every scene.
Every scene, yeah.
And when people give him feedback like, Tiger, you really acted well, he gets that feeling of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Acting seems to be something that he really connects with.
For sure.
Yeah.
Big time. And he's really hoping for more opportunities in this area. Oh, so I think we might see him doing more acting. Yeah. Alongside his music with MIRROR.
It makes me wonder what kind of roles he would be drawn to.
Yeah, totally.
What kind of characters.
Oh, and he actually mentions a dream project. He wants to make a car racing movie.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay, I love this.
He even mentions how much Initial D influenced him. I think it's so interesting how these things that we're passionate about can really inspire our creative goals, right?
Oh, it's so true.
What about you? Are there any films that you've seen that made you want to create something?
So many, but yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Tiger.
Yeah.
The dream projects don't stop there. He wants to try theater too.
Yeah.
That's a completely different world.
It's a different beast, yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks it'd be a huge breakthrough, that intense training that you get from performing on stage. Yeah, and his eagerness to take on that challenge.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot about his dedication.
And it's also really cool how he sees all of these creative outlets, music, film, theater, not as separate things, but as connected.
Totally.
It's not about choosing one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he really believes that you can excel in multiple areas if you've got the ability.
Exactly. I think that's such a great message, and not just for people in entertainment.
Yeah.
But for anyone who has lots of interests, who doesn't want to be put in a box.
Don't limit yourself, Farian.
Okay, his new song, Live the Way I Want.
Oh, yeah. Live the way I want. Live the way I want.
Live the Way I Want.
Love the title.
He actually says that the main message of the song goes back to something he talked about at a film festival.
Ah, cool.
All about judgment and understanding,
That's such an important theme.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the public eye. Right.
Totally. And he really drives home the point of having your own attitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's about staying true to yourself, even when there's all this pressure, right?
Exactly. Especially when you're working in an industry like entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
And he seems really grateful for where he is now, saying that it's a blessing to be able to do what he loves as a job. That's got to be a big part of what keeps him going.
Yeah,
Keeps that passion alive.
it does, for sure.
Yeah.
And so the music video for Live the Way I Want,
Oh, yeah. What about it?
it's got all sorts of things that he loves in it. Cars, alcohol, guitars. Dog even makes an appearance.
Oh, wow. I love when they bring in those personal touches.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It makes
And
it feel so authentic.
it gives you a glimpse into their life
Yeah.
outside of just the persona they might present as a performer.
And he really emphasizes how well he gets along with the director. Like they have that unspoken connection, a team.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's so important
It's important.
to have that rapport when you're collaborating. Yeah, like that trust between director and artist. It makes such a difference.
All these personal elements, like these real textured details,
Yeah.
were all intentionally put into the music video.
That's so cool.
That sounds like a really fulfilling creative process.
Glad to see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.